Sanjay T. Shah to please welcome our learned faculty, Amarjit Ji, with a bouquet and memento. I would request a big round of applause, please. Now I'll request Mr. Aniket Talati to please introduce the topic.
Past president of our Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, chairman of Nakash, and somebody who I have had the pleasure of knowing for a few years, Amarjit Ji Chopra. Our dynamic past chairman, incidentally somebody who was the chairman of Ahmedabad, I qualified and became a chartered accountant, and somebody I have deep respect for because of the courage of conviction and the strength that he shows when he was the chairman. Sanjay Bedisha, sir, you are an inspiration to the younger generation. Coordinator, Rinkesh Baisha, members of the managing committee of the dais, seniors in the profession and dear friends. Well, I have been given the task of introducing Amarjit Ji and I have been handed the profile also. But since the introduction and the formal introduction has already been done by Subodh Bhai, and I think all of you are well aware about the laurels and the achievements of our Honorable Past President Amarjit Ji, I think let me introduce him like a cricketer. Sir, आपने शुरुआत की कि आप substitute है, फिर आपने कहा कि ये second innings है, तो let's hope आज opening batsman की तरह भी सर आप century मारेंगे because it is the first technical session and as the opening batsman for this national convention, we welcome you, sir, to Ahmedabad. It is truly our honor to have you. Sir, only a few points to dwell upon since you talked about the accounting standards. And I totally endorse your point. If today we were to ask any member from this august audience to stand up and recite which essay or which accounting standard, I know it is going to be tough. But sir, as a regulator, is there a way? I am thinking right now as a chartered accountant. And there are IFRSs for companies which will be listed abroad and subsidiaries here. Then there is another set of standards which is Ind AS, which is not technically IFRS because we have not adopted it, we have technically converged into them, so there are changes that we made to IFRS. Then there is the set of Indian accounting standards notified by NACAS applicable to companies. After that, there are the accounting standards issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which may be applicable to small and medium enterprises. And if that was not enough, the Ministry of Finance has gone ahead and issued ICDS, Income Computation and Disclosure Standards. So in effect, as an auditor, I am entrusted to certify or verify 5 sets of accounting standards. I know all of them may not be applicable at the same time. But sir, if I was to take the member's side and put the argument, is it not possible for some set of standards to be converged in a manner that people are not supposed to refer to all these different sets of accounting standards at this time of time? There is an inventory standard in accounting standards, in IFRS, in ICDS, and they all talk of a different language. Even the definition changes. And sir, that leads to a lot of confusion for members as a whole. So my only prayer here, as I am sitting here to welcome all of you and to introduce the guest, will be with a googly question to you, sir, in terms of the cricketing question. Is it possible for us to foresee a situation, and since we are here dwelling for 2 days together, thinking about the future of the profession, if these accounting standards can somehow be converged and simplified such that members understand them, and like you rightly said, more important than them understanding, these are the standards which have to be made mandatory and are applicable to the companies and the clientele. And for us to go down to their throat and explain to them the importance and relevance of this becomes really difficult. So it's only an open googly that I've thrown on this bouncy track today morning. Once again, I welcome Amarjit Ji to Ahmedabad. I request all of you to please give a big round of applause as we begin our first technical session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aniket Talati. Now I request our learned faculty, Amarjit Ji Chopra, to please start his technical session.
CA Sanjay D. Shahji, CA Rinkesh Shahji, the coordinator, CA Aniket Talati, dignitaries of the dais, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I think before the first ball is bowled, the wicket has started turning. That's all I can say. Because Aniket has already bowled a googly. But I will definitely like to deal with that during the course of my deliberations. I can assure you that, because that's one of the issues that I have in my mind. But then there are certain things which in this country you cannot help as an institute. Or you have to go and say, yes, we don't agree with you, but for that you require a leadership which should be able to take up that challenge. You see, so far as this Ind AS is concerned, but I will only start on one note. We may talk of IFRS, we may talk of Ind AS, we may talk of standards notified under the Companies Act. There is something called sovereignty of the nation. There is something called pride, self-pride. That's very important. If someone is to tell me that you just pick up the standard which has been given by IASB as it is, just paste it, at least I am not having that cup of tea. I will definitely like to go into that, looking at it whether it serves the interest of my industry or doesn't serve the interest of my industry. And wherever it hurts the interest of my industry, and wherever I feel that our customs use as legal position doesn't permit it to happen, where I feel that probably certain provisions can be misused by the industry to the disadvantage of our profession and to the disadvantage of the society, we'll definitely like to do away with that. And that is where probably the carve-outs come in. And that is where I say, IFRS may be IFRS. You treat it as internationally financial reporting standards. I treat it as Indian formulated reporting standards. I think that's the distinction. To me, Ind AS is nothing but IFRS. But I say IFRS to me means Indian formulated reporting standards. In India, if I start saying these are IFRS, वैसे ही लोग इंग्लिश से घबराते रहते हैं. And the moment you say it is international, people get scared far more. तो आप इसको कहिए भाई इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, हमने बनाए हैं, चाहे आपने लैंग्वेज वही कॉपी कर रखी हो, थोड़ी सहूलियत तो दो लोगों को, थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस तो हो कि हम इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं इसको. आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड व्हाई आवर गवर्नमेंट शुड से कि whatever will be published by IASB, we will just publish it as it is. I don't think. I think the government has a sovereign right to change anything which they want to do. I'll definitely cover during the course of my discussion what we need to undergo a change. I can tell you we are the only nation in 2007 where none of the banks failed. And why it did not fail? The banks failed in US, the banks failed in Japan, the banks failed in UK, the banks failed in Germany. In our case, the banks didn't fail because we had the prudential norms and we were not having IFRS at that time, believe me. The hallmark of our accounting, the hallmark of our banking was that we were having prudential norms. And those prudential norms had given us enough of cushion that our banks didn't fail. Otherwise, our banks would have also gone the same way. And during the course of discussion, I will deal with that particular aspect little in a greater detail. To me, this topic of Ind AS, I think the life comes a full circle for me when I talk of Ind AS. Mr. Vasudeva, whom I reckon as my guru, was the chairman of Accounting Standard Board when the concept paper was brought in for introduction of Ind AS. But when I took over from him Ind AS, the chairmanship of Accounting Standard Board, the concept paper was passed by the council, was approved by the council. And in that concept paper also we had said that we will only converge, we will not adopt. Because we had said at that time also that adoption for the purposes of this concept paper only means convergence. अभी आपने Companies Act पढ़ा ना, Section 129, that for the purpose of this section subsidiary includes joint venture and associates. वैसे ही हमने उस वक्त ये कहा था adoption for this concept paper purposes means convergence only. Then there was a Prime Minister who generally never spoke, who generally didn't speak. और उनके बारे में तो ये मशहूर है कि लोग जब सेमिनार्स में आते थे तो कई बारी तो स्टेज से ये अनाउंसमेंट होती थी, पुट योर मोबाइल ऑन MMS मोड, पुट योर मोबाइल ऑन मनमोहन सिंह मोड. But in one conference he spoke, and that was the G20. And in G20 he spoke and said that we will implement IFRS in this country effective 1/4/2011. Till that time, believe me, we will go to the government and say that we have made our concept paper ready and we want the IFRS to be implemented in the form of Ind AS. The government would not listen, SEBI would not listen, RBI would not listen. And whenever a foreigner will come in, like Sir David Tweedy will come in, the chairman of the International Accounting Standard Board, and we will take him to the minister, will take him to the secretary. They will listen to him very carefully, and before him everyone will say, no, no, it's very good, what a good concept, it has to be implemented. And the moment he will go out, they will say, you continue with your standards, yaar, hota rahega, koi baat nahi. When Mr. Manmohan Singh said it in that G20 that IFRS will be implemented in this country, then the hell broke loose. And I think Deenal Bhai will agree with me, when we entered 2010, we didn't have even one Ind AS with us. And industry, the government, everyone was feeling institute will not be able to do it. So nobody was serious, except the government at that time. We went ahead. I don't know how many council meetings we did, special meetings, extraordinary meetings, emergent meetings. We held the meetings. And we continued to hold the meetings time and again, but made sure that by December, we had handed over 35 standards to NACAS. NACAS cleared it, handed it over to the government. Then everybody started feeling कि यार ये तो आ जाएंगे, इंस्टीट्यूट ने तो करके दे दिया. Then the industry started raising many issues. The first issue was that where are the actuaries? Actuaries ही नहीं है इस कंट्री में फेयर वैल्यूएशन के लिए. और मैं आपको ये भी बता सकता हूँ जिसके बच्चे सीए ना करना चाहते हो तो उनको कहिए एक्चुअलीज का कोर्स कर लें. उसका कारण है कि अगर कंट्री में 500-600 एक्चुअरीज हैं, उसमें से 75% जो हैं वो 70 साल से ऊपर के हैं. सो यू कैन मेक आउट व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से. एक बार दो बच्चे जो थे ना, वो स्कूल होता था ये जहां पे क्रिमेशंस होती हैं, उसके पास स्कूल होता था. तो जिस दिन विलेज में किसी की डेथ हो जाती थी तो वो स्कूल बंद हो जाता था. तो दो बुजुर्ग लोग कहीं पे बैठे हुए बात कर रहे थे, तो दो बच्चे जा रहे थे, कहने लगे देख हमारी दो छुट्टियां बैठी हैं. सो द पॉइंट इज, अब 75% एक्चुअलीज अगर 70 साल से ऊपर के हैं, हम तो ये समझते हैं 60 के ऊपर वैसे ही बोनस है. एटलीस्ट आई एम इन द बोनस ईयर्स, आई कैन टेल यू दैट. अब उस naturally then there is much scope for the actuaries. So this question came in first of all. Then came the issues of taxation, direct as well as indirect. And there were genuine issues. I'm being very frank with you. But I think we set up a committee under Mr. Jayant Gokhale at that time. And we came up with the various sections which would require amendment. And what kind of amendments will be required. We even hosted on the website of the institute. And we gave it to the ministry. But the ministry, particularly CBDT, is not willing to let you go that way. They want to tax all your notional gains but want to disallow all your notional losses. अब ये तो नहीं हो सकता. Now industry's concern was very clear that it should not happen that they are able to tax all our notional gains but are able to disallow all our notional losses. So the things got getting lingering on, and it became political, very frankly. And so political that the minister was changed. And the secretary who had taken it as a personal project retired. Minister got changed and everything went the other way around. So it was not implemented. So it went in limbo, if you ask me. But as an institute, we didn't give up. I can say with a lot of pride on this issue so far as the institute is concerned. We had already started IFRS certificate course. We kept on going on with the IFRS certificate course. The number kept on dwindling, but we didn't bother about it. We went in Nepal, we went in Myanmar, we went in Bahrain, we went in Abu Dhabi, we went in Dubai, we went to several places where we conducted even IFRS courses there. And of course in India also we had number of, I think we have crossed the batch number of 160 plus now, maybe more than that. I don't know the present number. And in 2010-11, when finally the government asked me a figure as a president, how many people have attended the conference and seminars on Ind AS, I could give them the figure of 42,000. And I could tell them that even if you presume that 25% have been repetitions all over, or 30% have been repetitions, still more than 25,000 people have already attended it. And how many entities were coming under that IFRS at that time, Ind AS? Not more than 1,000. In the first phase, it was not even 400. So if we thought, when one of the CFOs in December meeting in Mumbai, the largest group in this country, he raised the issue to me, where are the actuaries? So I asked him very politely, yaar, कि तुम तो मत पूछो मेरे से ये सवाल. You have already taken capital from abroad. You are already converting it into the foreign gaps, whether IFRS or US gaps. So you are already getting actuary valuation done. यहाँ तो ये बोलो कि जो actuarial valuation करवा रहे हो वो सब गलत है. और यहाँ ये मान जाओ कि हो रही है आपकी actuarial valuation, और मुझे तो 300 करवानी है, शुरू में 400 के लिए मुझे ज्यादा से ज्यादा 100 actuaries चाहिए, वो है कंट्री में. But some or the other it didn't click because the largest groups in the country didn't want IFRS to come in. So then we went on, but when Mr. Arun Jaitley in last to last budget said that we need to implement effective 1/4/2016 mandatorily and 1/4/2015 on a voluntary basis in this, we were really happy. And as the luck would have it, I was given the responsibility of being the chairman of NACAS. In between this all period, believe me, that is my hats off to Mr. Manoj Fadnis, Mr. Sanjeev Maheshwari, both. Manoj Fadnis as the chairman of ASB during my period, and then of course Mr. Sanjeev Maheshwari during later period. They continued with the effort. And they kept on changing it to the recent standards, whichever were being pronounced by the IASB. So when I was given this responsibility, within 6 meetings, which were of course marathon meetings, we could bring out 39 standards. And those have been issued by the government now. No replying to Aniket. At times, you need to be the leaders, you need not be the followers. And I think in accounting, I can dare say we are second to none in the world. Absolutely not second to anybody. If you ask me today, in agricultural accounting, the entire standard has undergone a change because of us. I was heading that group to begin with, because we were one nation, we are an agrarian society, but we had no standard on agriculture. And agricultural standard India's 41 now, and of course at that time IAS 41 said, whether you are a bearer biological plant or you are a consumable asset, in both the cases you have to value it at the fair value. So we went to IASB, we said, yeah, look at it. If you are a bearer biological plant, take the case of a cow which can produce milk. Take the case of a cow which can give a calf, produce a calf. Take the case of a mango tree in the orchard which can bear fruit. Take the case of the tea plants which can bear tea leaves. It is nothing short of the property, plant and equipment, if you ask me. We said in this case, you must apply the principles which are applicable to property, plant and equipment. And it has been agreed to. IASB has changed its standard. So, what I am trying to say, Aniket, is, be the leaders, don't be the followers in certain cases. And why? The reason is that China can get up one day, can wake up one fine morning and say that we will adopt. We can't do it. Because China had no accounting standards on their own. We have been setting the standards since 78. अब 78 से जो स्टैंडर्ड हम सेट कर रहे हैं वो इंडस्ट्री उस पर ट्यून्ड है. अगर आप एक दिन आके ये कि नहीं टोटली चेंज कर देते सारे का सारा IFRS ही करेंगे, वो नहीं हो सकता. It's not possible and it should not be done. Even the existing standards, if you ask me, we definitely were based upon IAS. उसमें भी तो हम चेंजेस करते थे ना, which were required from the country's perspective. We were doing it. So similarly, in India as also, जहां जहां पे IFRS में हमें सूट नहीं करता, वहां पे हमने चेंजेस की, हमने carve outs किए. I'll give you examples now. Look at the investment property, IAS 40 and India's 40. Now that provides two options. One is that you can fair value the investment property and take everything to the profit. Or you can follow the cost method. We said we will not allow the fair valuation in investment property. The moment you allow fair valuation of investment property to be taken, to be routed through the profit and loss account, होगा क्या? Unrealized gain के ऊपर टैक्स की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं मैं. टैक्स तो दीनल जी ने मैट का इशू रेज किया, बाकी इश्यूज रेज किए, तो देखेंगे OCI में क्या होता. But people will declare dividend out of the unrealized gains, which we cannot afford. कैश होगा नहीं पल्ले और डिविडेंड डिक्लेयर होंगे विदाउट नेमिंग एनी कंपनी. गुजरात की कंपनी है आपके यहां, डोंट माइंड माई सेइंग सो, लिस्टेड एंटिटी है. आज से 6-7 साल पहले, यू ऑल नो AS 22, मुझे बताने की जरूरत नहीं है, डेफर्ड टैक्स का. एक डेफर्ड टैक्स एसेट क्रिएट किया उन्होंने 62 करोड़ रुपए का. अब डेफर्ड टैक्स एसेट 62 करोड़ का तो यहां तो अनअब्जॉर्ब्ड डेप्रिसिएशन पे क्रिएट हो सकता है, यहां बिजनेस लॉस पे क्रिएट हो सकता. एंड इफ आई रीड पैराग्राफ 15 to 17 ऑफ द अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 22, दिस ओनली टॉक्स ऑफ कि भाई उसमें वर्चुअल सर्टेनिटी होनी चाहिए दैट दिस डेफर्ड टैक्स एसेट विल बी रियलाइज्ड. इट डज नॉट टॉक ऑफ रीजनेबल सर्टेनिटी, इट टॉक्स ऑफ द वर्चुअल सर्टेनिटी इन दैट केस. Now you go to the director's report in that case. The director report starts with, future outlook of the business is gloomy. The company has been making losses. The policy of the government is against the industry and the company is likely to continue to incur the losses. And deferred tax asset of 62 crore rupees being created. No remark by the auditor, no remark by the management. And if I allow, and they declare the dividend, let me be also very clear about it. If I allow this kind of a practice in investment property, what happens later on? Nobody will ask the company, everyone will be asking the auditor, why didn't you pick up? Why didn't you have the cudgels? Why didn't you have the guts to really say that it cannot be done? तो मैं अपने लिए वो सिचुएशन क्यों क्रिएट करूं पहले? Believe me, at number of places we have tried to safeguard the position of the auditor rather than anything else. We have tried to protect the interest of the auditor so that the auditor does not run the risk. So we said nothing doing. We will not allow this fair valuation of the investment property in those cases. That is one. Another thing, look at Ind AS 1, which is IAS 1, which defines current liability. Now, one of the aspects of the current liability is, जो एक डी पार्ट है उसका, अगर आपको याद हो कि if you have borrowed the amounts from a bank or any financial institutions and there are certain covenants, भाई हर एक बैंक जब लोन देता तो कोई ना कोई कोवेनेंट तो लगाता ना, कोई ना कोई कंडीशंस लगाता, और वो कोवेनेंट ये है कि भाई आप फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स नहीं दोगे, आप स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट नहीं दोगे, आप सीए में डेटा फाइल नहीं करोगे, आप गारंटर्स की नेटवर्थ नहीं बताओगे, then the bank reserves a right to recall the loan. The bank reserves a right to recall the loan. Bank has a right if you don't do this. They may not do it. Internationally, the way the definition stands, it says that if this right is with the lender and if there is a breach of the covenant, even if the lender has not recalled the loan, it has to go to a current liability. आप हिंदुस्तानी बैलेंस शीटों की हाल समझ लीजिए क्या होती है, मुझे बताने की आवश्यकता है क्या? हमारे यहां तो हर रोज कुछ ना कुछ नहीं दिया होता हमने। मैं ही कह देता हूं यार उसका ऑडिट हो लेने तो बाद में दे देना अपनी स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट, हम ही कहते हैं ना। अगर मैंने ये ब्रीच किया हुआ है, अच्छा वो कहता मुझे हर क्वार्टर एंड का स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट मिलना चाहिए, ये भी आप मानते हो, और हम क्या करते हैं 30 जून वाले की जगह देते हैं 29 जून का, 30 सितंबर की जगह देते हैं 29 सितंबर का, 31 दिसंबर की जगह देते हैं 30 दिसंबर का, और 31 मार्च की जगह देते हैं 30 मार्च का। कभी मैंने किसी का 31 मार्च का, 31 दिसंबर का, 30 सितंबर का या 30 जून का स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट नहीं देखा बैंक के अंदर। द रीजन बीइंग, हम ये समझते हैं ये पकड़ ही नहीं पाएगा यार कि स्टॉक क्या था, मैं कहूं एक दिन में इधर उधर हो गया कुछ। आई विल गिव यू द एग्जांपल, इन वन ऑफ द कंपनीज इन पंजाब, last to last year, we were the stock auditors. It is a listed entity again. So जब स्टॉक ऑडिट की अपॉइंटमेंट आई, हमने उसको फोन किया, सरदार जी थे, बोले आओ जी बादशाह कर लो जी स्टॉक ऑडिट। जरूर करांगे जी। तो फिर दसो जी। मैंने कहा जी आएंगे, किताबें देखें। कमाल है जी, किताबें थोड़ी ना चेक करनी होंगी। नहीं जी, किताबें चेक किए बिना तो ऑडिट नहीं होता। वो सर ऐसे ही चलता है जी स्टॉक ऑडिट में। तो आई एम टेलिंग यू द रियल स्टोरी, नो गॉसिप। एंड व्हेन फॉर 1 month वी ट्राइड अवर लेवल बेस्ट एंड वी वांटेड इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम हिम, ही डिडंट। Neither he took us to the plant nor he provided us the information. So I told my partner Sunil, I told him, boss, you do one thing. You just go to the bank and take whatever he has submitted to the bank. He brought. Their closing was 30th September. Unfortunately for them. अब तो खैर 31 मार्च करनी पड़ेगी. At that time his closing was 30th September. Listed entity. Now 30th September, you know the figures. What is the stock figure given? What are the creditors as per the balance sheet, which you can bring out? And the stock statement that he had given on 29th of September, for 29th of September, and the stock that he had shown to the bank, there was a variation of only 155 crores. Stock as per audited balance sheet was less by 155 crores. And the creditors were more by 350 crores in the balance sheet. उसके बाद कुछ देखने की जरूरत है क्या? कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Now this kind of a company, if the bank has laid down, suppose the bank lays down, that you are supposed to give the stock statement for the end of the quarter, and if he gives for 29th only, the bank has a right. The bank has a right to recall. Now, if I say that the bank has got a right to recall, that is why I will classify it as a current liability. My current ratio in all the companies will be negative. You can be sure about it. So we said we will not do it. What we have brought out is that if there is a material breach of if there are material breaches of the covenants, you see why we have done the carve-outs. I am trying to tell you why Ind AS, not IFRS. We said if there are material breaches of the covenants, and these even material breach has been rectified before the accounts have been approved by the board, in that particular case, it will still not be treated as a current liability. And for this we had to amend, we had to have carve-outs in the two of these standards, Ind AS 1 and Ind AS 10. Now it is not for our purpose, believe me. It is for the purpose of the industry that we have tried to protect that interest. Unfortunately, industry does not realize this. We are playing on their behalf. We are not playing on our behalf, basically. We are playing on their behalf so that their balance sheets don't get in a bad shape. Then the lease rentals. Now in the lease standard, the position is very clear that if your lease agreement contains your condition to escalate the rent, say 10% every year, तो स्टैंडर्ड तो ये कहता है कि जितना भी इंक्रीज होना ओवर द लीज पीरियड वो सारा कर लीजिए और उसको प्रोपोर्शनेट बांट दीजिए सारे पीरियड में. आपने देना तो इस बार 100 है, पर हो सकता है आपको डेबिट करना पड़े 150 रुपया, बिकॉज वट एवर इंक्रीज इज कमिंग उसको आप स्ट्रेट लाइन कर दीजिए. हमने कहा ये नहीं, नॉट दिस वन. हमने कहा जितना लिंक्ड है टू दी इंडेक्स, इस जो मेरी इन्फ्लेशन रेट है, अगर मैं 5% या 7% या 10% की एस्केलेशन मांगता हूं रेंट में, तो दैट इज जनरली लिंक्ड विद दी इन्फ्लेशन. तो हमने कहा जहां पे इन्फ्लेशन के साथ लिंक है मोर और लेस, वहां पे आपको ये करने की जरूरत नहीं है. वो फिर जिस साल में बढ़ेगा उस साल में डेबिट कर दीजिए आप. सो इसे हमने सिंप्लीफाई किया या कॉम्प्लिकेट किया, आप बता दीजिए. यू सी देयर आर इश्यूज इन विच वी हैव गॉन अहेड doing certain things for the sake of the industry to simplify the things for them. But yes, in another standard, which is your Ind AS 103, business combinations, now the international standard says if you have paid price more than the value of the assets, तो क्या करेंगे आप? बैलेंस को you will debit it to the, कहां डेबिट करेंगे? गुडविल में. ठीक है. इफ सपोज यू हैव पेड लेसर फॉर द एसेट्स एक्वायर्ड, वो कहता प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस में ले लो. ये नहीं ले जाने देंगे भाई. मैंने एसेट खरीदी है, क्या बिल्डिंग खरीदी मैंने, उसमें आ गई प्लांट एंड मशीनरी आ गई, कोई और एसेट आ गई, अगर उनकी वैल्यू ज्यादा है देन द प्राइस दैट आई हैव पेड, it is not something revenue profit that I have earned over the year and I take it to the P&L account. We said ये तो कैपिटल रिजर्व में जाएगा, क्योंकि मेरे यहां पे अगर मैं अलाउ कर दूं, the way these schemes are framed and the way these schemes are approved by the courts. I don't know how many of you have gone through some of these schemes. Fortunately, unfortunately, हमारे courts जिस तरीके से schemes approve करते हैं, which is contrary to law itself. अब आके सेबी ने ये कह दिया कि भाई कोई भी स्कीम जो है अमलगमेशन की, मर्जर की, वो बिना सीए के सर्टिफिकेट के नहीं होगी कि ऑल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स हैव बीन कंप्लाइड विद. अदरवाइज इन आवर AS 14 इफ यू रिमेंबर वी हैड टू ब्रिंग आउट कि अगर स्कीम में कोई अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट है विच इज कॉन्ट्री टू दी अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स, द ऑडिटर विल ब्रिंग इट आउट, ही विल नॉट क्वालिफाई द रिपोर्ट, क्योंकि कोर्ट को थोड़ी ना चैलेंज करेगा कि कल कंटेम्प्ट ऑफ कोर्ट में अंदर हो जाए. That we didn't want. So now the SEBI has said कि भाई आप जो है सर्टिफिकेट चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट देगा, ऑल अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स हैव बीन कंप्लाइड विद. हमने वो भी प्लग कर दिया. हमने कहा भाई कैपिटल रिजर्व जो है वो तो कैपिटल रिजर्व में जाएगा, इट विल नॉट गो टू द P&L अकाउंट, बिकॉज अगेन इफ आई अलाउ दैट टू हैपन, तो अनरियलाइज्ड प्रॉफिट्स के ऊपर कितना डिविडेंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाएगा मुझे मालूम नहीं। और हमारी समस्या क्या है? हमारी समस्या यह है, अवर लीगल प्रोसेस इज टू स्लो। अगर कल कोई सेबी के पास जाके कोई एक्शन चाहता भी है उसके अगेंस्ट, तो एक्शन होगा क्या? कितनी जल्दी होगा एक्शन? कल मैं अगर कोर्ट में भी चला जाऊं उसके अगेंस्ट, तो कितनी जल्दी एक्शन हो सकता? हो ही नहीं सकता। आई कैन कोट यू वन ऑफ द लिस्टेड कंपनीज इन नॉर्थ। वो अपने नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स में लिखते हैं, वी हैव नॉट प्रोवाइडेड एनी इंटरेस्ट ऑन द बोरोइंग्स ऑफ द बैंक बिकॉज द बैंक हैज ट्रीटेड अवर अकाउंट एज नॉन परफॉर्मिंग। ग्रेट मास्टरी है, इससे बढ़िया अकाउंटिंग तो नहीं हो सकती। अरे भाई, यू वर ड्यूटी बाउंड टू पे देम द इंटरेस्ट or the principal. You did not pay them either the interest or the principal on the stipulated dates. Accordingly, they were perforce because of the prudential norms supposed to classify your account into a non-performing account. आप ये कह रहे हो क्योंकि उन्होंने मेरा अकाउंट नॉन परफॉर्मिंग कर दिया, अब तो मैं इंटरेस्ट ही प्रोवाइड नहीं करूंगा। तेरी तो कंट्रेक्चुअल लायबिलिटी है भाई। Now, if someone has to take action against such company, what kind of action can you take and how much time will it take? So, मेरा अपना मानना ये है कि there are issues. Definitely, I will like to say it increases the complexity. कि एक IFRS हो गया, एक NDS हो गया, एक ICDS हो गया. But at times, you have to look at the Indian interest also. You have to look at what is your system. You cannot ignore your system under any circumstances. And if it is not, I think it's a problem area. We are grappling today. I can say we are grappling because the government wants India to come in without amending the other laws. I give you one problem. Whether we come up with 115 or we come up with Ind AS 18. अभी तो यही dispute है चल रहा कि Ind AS 115 आएगा या Ind AS 18 आएगा। Personal view अभी मैं दूंगा नहीं यहाँ पे, क्योंकि फिर आप बोलोगे चेयरमैन नकास बोल गए। But my views are already known to everybody in that matter. Because it is not for us to determine whether this Ind AS 115 will come or not. It is for the industry to find out whether they find it convenient or not. And FICCI, CII have already represented that it needs to be deferred. And they have given very good reasons. They have given solid reasons for it. Let's be clear about it. एक SOCM रहता है, उससे भी पूछ लेंगे. But by month end, we'll give you the decision. Definitely, so far as the Ind AS 115 is concerned. Either of the two coming in or not coming in. Now, whether it is Ind AS 18 or 115, look at the situation. Our revenue definition, जो हमारी है, वो तो कहता है gross inflow. वो ये कहता है कि if you are selling something on extended credit, अगर आप extended credit पे बेच रहे हैं, भाई अगर आपका नॉर्मल क्रेडिट पीरियड 3 महीने का, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। पर अगर किसी को आपने 1 साल का क्रेडिट पीरियड दे दिया, देन दिस 9 मंथ पीरियड जो डिफरेंस है, इट इज ए फाइनेंस चार्ज। वो कहता है इंप्यूट करो व्हाट इज अ फाइनेंस चार्ज, कि जो इंटरेस्ट रेट आपका बनता है वो आप, अगर आपने उससे जब आप 100 रुपए की चीज बेचते हो, जिसको आपने 1 साल का क्रेडिट दिया, उससे आपने 102 रुपए ले लिए, तो वो कहता है ये जो 2 रुपए हैं, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द फाइनेंस चार्ज। अगर मैं उसको फाइनेंस चार्ज मानता हूं, तो वेदर द इनकम टैक्स ऑफिसर विल आस्क मी टू डिडक्ट TDS ऑन दैट और नॉट। आज की डेट में तो मैं करता नहीं। सो इट इज अ प्रॉब्लम दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी ब्रॉट इट टू द नॉलेज ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट कि साहब इस पे कुछ बताइए, कुछ रोशनी डालिए, इस पे प्रकाश डालिए। बट नोबडी इज विलिंग टू टॉक अबाउट इट एट ऑल। सी आवर प्रॉब्लम इज the entire system of the government is such, left hand does not know what the right is doing. A person went to United States, और हिंदुस्तानी जब यूनाइटेड स्टेट में जाए और पंजाब से चला जाए खास तौर पे, तो उसको बड़ी दिक्कत होती है। क्यों? पंजाब में तो ये सड़क से वहां जंप करना है, एकदम से जंप किया, चाहे 4 गाड़ियां आपस में भिड़ जाए बाद में, वो कोई दिक्कत नहीं। अब वहां पे क्रॉस करना पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, एक साइड से दूसरी साइड में जाना। आप यहां तो ब्रिज यूज करो या अंडर वे यूज करो। वो खड़ा एक साइड में, घंटा भर हो गया वेट कर रहा, वो गाड़ी पे गाड़ी आई जा रही है, क्रॉस हो नहीं पा रहा। पंजाब वाला आदमी परेशान हो गया। सडनली उसने देखा दूसरी साइड में कोई व्यक्ति खड़ा, आंखों में रोशनी आ एकदम से, उसको आवाज दी, हे तुम यहां कैसे पहुंचे? वो बोला मैं पैदा ही साइड में हुआ था रोड की। हमारे यहां पे सरकार में यही हालत है, लेफ्ट को ये नहीं पता राइट क्या कर रहा, राइट को ये नहीं पता लेफ्ट क्या कर रहा। हम एमसीए को कह रहे हैं कि भाई आप बोल दो कि ये चेंजेस लानी पड़ेंगी टीडीएस में, या आप इसको पहले कह दीजिए कि दिस काइंड ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस विल बी एग्जेम्प्टेड। कोई बात सुनने को तैयार नहीं है। हम ये कह रहे हैं कि नोशनल गेन्स और नोशनल लॉसेस की बात आएगी। अब जब आईसीडीएस की बात करूंगा तो बात इसको भी रोक लेता हूं, इस बात को। आप वैट में चले जाओ, अगर मैं ये कहूंगा ये फाइनेंस चार्ज है, अपनी किताबों में तो मैं भी तो क्रेडिट फाइनेंस चार्ज को ही करूंगा ना, आई विल नॉट क्रेडिट इट टू सेल्स। अगर मैं फाइनेंस चार्ज को करूंगा तो वैट इस पे लग दूंगा या नहीं दूंगा? देना तो नहीं चाहिए, पर वैट वाला तो मुझे छोड़े नहीं, कुछ भी हो जाए। मैं अपना राइट काय को छोड़ू। सिमिलरली विल बी द पोजीशन ऑफ द एक्साइज पर्सन। वो भी कहेगा मुझे तो एक्साइज पूरे पे लेनी है भाई, तुम जो मर्जी करते रहो अपने यहां पे घर पे, तुम IFRS फॉलो करो, तुम AS फॉलो करो, जो मर्जी फॉलो करो, बट टू मी आई एम सपोज्ड टू लेवी द एक्साइज ड्यूटी ऑन द फुल सेल वैल्यू। So I think we are faced with the problems, we are grappling with the problems which are still not clear, but ultimately सरकार कह देगी कि भी पूरे पे चार्ज कर लेना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। आप चार्ज किसी भी हेड में करो, फाइनेंस में करो, किसी में करो, इट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज ए सॉर्ट ऑफ सेल। उसको वैट पे कोई एग्जम्पशन नहीं है, सिमिलरली एक्साइज पे कोई एग्जम्पशन नहीं होगी, और टीडीएस के लिए वो कह देंगे इस पे टीडीएस काटने की जरूरत नहीं है। यू कैन बी श्योर अबाउट इट। But the problem remains till the time that clarification comes. Now we are going to call a meeting of SEBI, IRDA, RBI, MCA, each one of them together. कि भाई हमारे ये इश्यूज हैं, इनका कोई सोल्यूशन आप दे दीजिए, कोई इस पे आप बता दीजिए कि क्या कर सकते हैं। If they do it, it's fine. If they don't do it, then we will see what is to be done. Another issue which is coming in, very frankly, which is creating problem to us is, हमारे यहाँ पे प्रेफरेंशियल कैपिटल है। We all know प्रेफरेंस कैपिटल की हम बात करते हैं। अगर मैं फॉलो करूंगा 109 ना भी करूं, मैं तो अगर आज अपना 31 भी फॉलो करूं, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 31, 32 भी फॉलो करूं, उसमें भी हमने ये कहा दैट प्रेफरेंस कैपिटल इज इन द नेचर ऑफ ए डेट। जब आप ये कहते हो दैट एंटायर प्रेफरेंशियल कैपिटल हैज टू बी इशूड ऑन ए रिडीमेबल बेसिस, प्रेफरेंशियल कैपिटल को आप नॉन रिडीमेबल बेसिस पे इशू नहीं कर सकते। अगर आपको उसका पीरियड पता है कि इतने साल बाद आपको इसको वापस करना ही करना है, देन इट इज नथिंग बट ए डेट बेसिकली। और अगर वो डेट है जो कि हमें डेट दिखाना पड़ेगा, इन डेज वी विल हैव टू शो इट एज ए डेट, तो उस पे मैं जो डिविडेंड दूंगा उसको मुझे इंटरेस्ट चार्ज मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा इनकम टैक्स के अंदर? वो तो देने वाला नहीं। वो कहेंगे इट इज डिविडेंड, मैं कहूंगा इट इज इंटरेस्ट। मेरी किताबों में ये इंटरेस्ट आएगा, लेट्स बी क्लियर अबाउट इट, बिकॉज वट एवर आई विल पे ऑन ए डेट it will be charged as a finance charge basically, but so far as the income tax people are concerned, they will treat it as a dividend. They will say we don't allow this particular interest expense. Let's be very clear about it. There are various issues with regard to the definition. Related party disclosures, Ind AS 24. In 2010 rather, when this particular standard came up before the council, we all know under AS 18 we have defined relative as only 7 relationships: father, mother, son, daughter, father, mother, son, daughter, sister, brother, and spouse. Internationally there is no concept of spouse. वो spouse है ही नहीं, वहां पे वर्ड ही नहीं है spouse का। वो कहते हैं डोमेस्टिक पार्टनर। No, that's a factual position and you will have to read it. In the council we had a debate of an hour and a half. We said we will not allow this word to come in our standards. It is their culture, we will not permit it. We send it to Nakas saying that spouse word has to be retained. Nakas returned it to us. Mr. Malegam didn't agree with us. He said no, the same terminology should be used what has been used there. So today we are in a situation where it will say domestic partner, your children, children of domestic partner and children of both. That will be the relative. This is the difference in the cultures which can affect your standards sometimes. But that is what it is. What I am trying to tell you is that there are definitional problems. अभी तो हमारी एक और problem जो हम face कर रहे हैं, consolidation में. हमने रोड मैप दे दिया, हमने रोड मैप ये दे दिया कि साहब 1/4/2016 से लिस्टेड एंटिटीज जिनकी नेटवर्थ 500 करोड़ से ऊपर है और अनलिस्टेड एंटिटीज जिनकी नेटवर्थ 500 करोड़ से ऊपर है उनको ये इंप्लीमेंट हो जाएगा मैंडेटरीली. 1/4/2017 से ऑल लिस्टेड एंटिटीज but all unlisted entities with a net worth between 250 crore to 500 crores it will be attracted. अब जब आपने ये कह दिया, आरबीआई वाले ने अभी ये नहीं बताया कि बैंक कब इंप्लीमेंट करेंगे. ईडा वाला बात ही नहीं करना चाहता. पिछली बार जब आ रहा था 2011 में तो ईडा ने लिख के दिया वी विल इंप्लीमेंट इट 1 year बिफोर द बैंक्स. और वो कहता मैं पहले बैंक बताया कि कब फॉलो करूंगा फिर मैं बताऊंगा कि मैं कब फॉलो करूंगा. अब आरबीआई वाले more or less are wearing around the idea of 1/4/2018. that much I can tell you कि 1/4/2018 RBI will say all banks will implement IFRS. Ind AS. Agreed. Now insurance is bound to say that we will implement it 1 year later. Now if insurance does it 1 year later, number of banks in our country, look at Canara Bank, look at Bank of Baroda, look at PNB, they have got insurance joint ventures. Parent को applicable होगा, joint venture को applicable नहीं है. या subsidiary को applicable नहीं है. या subsidiary को applicable है और parent को नहीं है. Then what do you do about it? In the last meeting that we had day before yesterday, we have resolved, अगर पेरेंट को एप्लीकेबल है तो नीचे वाले को एप्लीकेबल है या नहीं है उसको ट्रांसलेट करना ही पड़ेगा इंडिया में. Then there can be no exception, except in the case of banks or insurance company. अगर उसमें पेरेंट मेरा इंश्योरेंस या बैंक है उसमें, क्योंकि अगर 2018 से पहले आना नहीं तो अगर पेरेंट को ही एप्लीकेबल नहीं तो मैं नीचे वाले को कहां से एप्लीकेबल करवाऊंगा. Then I will not. Which means your accounting standards will continue in those cases. So further complications, sir. All these complications will end in 2019 if you ask me. क्योंकि जब कभी भी ट्रांजिशन आएगा there has to be a period of confusion and complication. क्योंकि उसमें पोजीशन ये है कि अगर मैं आज कहूं कि पेरेंट बैंक है और बैंक को आरबीआई ने इंप्लीमेंट नहीं किया, मैं कहूं मैं इंप्लीमेंट करूंगा, वो बैंक वाला कहता तुम कौन भाई? आई एम रेगुलेटेड बाय रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया सेज दैट इट हैज टू बी इंप्लीमेंटेड इफेक्टिव 1/4/2018. हाउ कैन आई मेक इट मैंडेटरी टू देम? नो वे. बट यस, इफ द बैंक इज इन बिटवीन समवेयर और पेरेंट कोई और है तो बैंक को ट्रांसलेट करना पड़ेगा. देन बैंक कैन नॉट अवॉइड. वो होगा नहीं, हिंदुस्तान में वो नहीं होगा. दैट मच आई कैन टेल यू. वो इंडिया में बैंक विल नॉट बी ए सब्सिडरी ऑफ समवन एल्स. बल्कि दिस ऑल्सो केम अप फॉर डिस्कशन कि आरआरबीज का क्या होगा. आरआरबीज को आप कन्वर्ट करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे? आरआरबीज में बी एग्जेम्प्टेड फ्रॉम इंडिया ऑल टुगेदर, इवन इन लेटर ऑन. क्योंकि किसी भी बैंक की टोटल एसेट्स का 1% से ऊपर नहीं है आरआरबीज में, एक्सेप्ट स्टेट बैंक ऑफ मैसूर जिसमें 7% एसेट्स हैं उसकी आरआरबीज की. तो मेटेरियलिटी आल्सो विल बी टेकन इनटू कंसिडरेशन इन दोस केसेस. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू इज देयर आर पेक्यूलियर सर्कमस्टांसेस दैट वी आर फेस्ड विद. एंड पिक्यूलियर एक यही है, आपके सामने है कि सब्सिडरी को एप्लीकेबल हो सकता है, पेरेंट को नहीं है, पेरेंट को एप्लीकेबल हो सकता है, सब्सिडरी को नहीं है। तो वो हमने रिजॉल्व कर दिया कि अगर पेरेंट बैंक और इंश्योरेंस नहीं है और उसको एप्लीकेबल है, इन दैट केस इट हैज टू बी ट्रांसलेटेड एट ऑल द लेवल्स एंड देन इंडिया हैज टू बी फॉलोड इन दोस केसेस। बट इफ सब्सिडरी को एप्लीकेबल है और पेरेंट को एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, देन दैट मे नॉट बी फॉलोड इन दोस केसेस। So that is what we have tried to do. But if subsidiary is a parent of other organizations, समझे बात को? भाई मैं ए की सब्सिडरी बी है, ए को एप्लीकेबल नहीं, बी को एप्लीकेबल है, बी के नीचे जो उसकी सब सब्सिडरीज है उनको एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा, क्योंकि सब्सिडरी of someone to whom it is applicable will have to translate it unless you are a bank or a finance company. NBFCs. NBFCs is a major challenge if you ask me. NBFCs को RBI is very clear, they will not implement it before 2018. हमारी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि NBFC सिर्फ RBI रेगुलेट नहीं करता, NBFC को RBI भी रेगुलेट करता है, कुछ सेबी के पास RBI हैं, कुछ नेशनल हाउसिंग बैंक के पास NBFC से रजिस्टर्ड है। अब हम उन तीनों को बुला रहे हैं वापस कि सर आप आके हमारी समस्या का समाधान करिए कि आप क्या चाहते हैं, क्योंकि नेशनल हाउसिंग बैंक वाले का करैक्टर और होगा, RBI वाले का करैक्टर कुछ और होगा, सेबी वाले का करैक्टर कुछ और होगा, चिट फंड कंपनीज कुछ और हैं। सो अंडर डिफरेंट लॉज यू हैव गॉट द NBFCs. So each one is to be brought on the same bus. They have to be on board before you really take a final decision in these matters. There is a problem which is going on. Suppose next year a company comes up with the IPO. Next year तो आपने implement तो कर दिया, Ind AS. And next year some company to whom it is applicable comes up with an IPO. और अगर आईपीओ ला रही है तो सेबी वाला कहता है 5 साल की फिगर दो, और जबकि आप ट्रांजिशन करेंगे तो आपके पास पिछले 2 साल की और फिगर्स होंगी, तीसरे साल की तो नहीं होंगी, बिकॉज यू आर सपोज टू प्रिपेयर 2 प्रीवियस बैलेंस शीट्स, नॉट द प्रीवियस 3 बैलेंस शीट्स इन एनी केस. तो उसमें वी आर वेरी क्लियर एंड आई थिंक सेबी विल एग्री टू अस कि इन सच केसेस जो लास्ट जहां तक आपकी जिस डेट को आपकी ट्रांजिशन हुई है उसके पीछे की 2 बैलेंस शीट्स आप और दे दीजिए, उससे पहले की जो आप जो अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स पे उस पे देते रहिए फिगर्स, उस पे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. सो वी आर व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज वी आर ट्राइंग टू रिजॉल्व द इश्यूज, बट दोस इश्यूज आर नॉट very easy to be resolved if you really ask me, but then probably all those things continue. Then one question which was raised by Aniket, and that's to me very, very relevant. What happens to our existing standards? But internationally the position is the same, boss. This situation is internationally also to the listed entities, you have the IFRS. To the others, you have IFRS for SMEs. आप चिंता मत करिए सर, उससे पहले कर दूंगा. आपसे जल्दी मुझे है क्योंकि मुझे फ्लाइट पकड़नी है, क्योंकि दूसरी जगह मैं ओरिजिनल स्पीकर हूं. ये जो IFRS फॉर SMEs है वर्ल्ड ओवर है, ऐसा तो नहीं है, हर एक जगह 2 एग्जिस्ट कर रहे हैं, वन फुल IFRS, सेकंड शॉर्ट एंड वर्जन ऑफ IFRS. द ओनली डिफरेंस इज कि वहां पे दोनों में फेयर वैल्यूएशन प्रिंसिपल्स आर अप्लाइंग. हमारे यहां पे फेयर वैल्यूएशन प्रिंसिपल्स विल बी अप्लाइड ओनली इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ द एंटिटीज अप टू 250 crores नेटवर्क एंड ऑल लिस्टेड एंटिटीज. If you ask me my personal opinion, which I debated in the NACAS, I had always thought that even in the listed entities, you must put it at least 100 crore net worth. ऐसी है, मेरे पास लिस्टेड एंटिटीज हैं जिनकी 3-3 करोड़ की कैपिटल नहीं है यार. वो भले वक्त में लिस्टिंग हो गई उनकी, अब जब भले वक्त में हो गई तो उस वक्त तो कैपिटल की रिक्वायरमेंट ही वर्चुअली कुछ नहीं होती थी, और वो कंपनीज उसी साइज की हैं, so the cost of compliance is going to be more than the cost of the capital. So why do you want to implement it? But then the people in the NACAS didn't agree. They said no, listed entities पे सब पे करना है. तो ठीक है, because the government wants something to happen, let it happen. In our case, the problem which is going to be, but I think that's a solution rather than a problem. If I ask small companies to follow fair valuation, what can happen? I think we all know. So we don't want to burden our small entities with the fair valuation principles. हमारे तो members को अभी समझ नहीं आ रहा यार, उनको कहाँ से समझ आएगा? It is a real challenge. The challenge is what fair value. In India तो दो चीजें तो मिल सकती हैं आराम से किसी के पास भी, एक तो लीगल ओपिनियन और एक वैल्यूएशन. Because when you go to take a valuation, he says आपको क्या चाहिए. लीगल ओपिनियन लेने जाते हैं तो भी वही पूछते हैं आपको क्या चाहिए. So we don't want to burden them with that kind of situation because we don't have the depth in our markets presently. But yes, we know that at least 400-500 entities are such which are already translating their financial statements into gaps, other gaps, because either they have borrowed abroad or they have raised the capital abroad. तो जो वो कर रहे हैं उनको तो करने दें कम से कम. Let them have exposure to that, and if they can, because one of the arguments is that if you are on IFRS, you can have cost the money at a lesser cost of capital. So अगर lesser cost of capital पे पैसा चाहिए, तो naturally you will have to go to the Ind AS. Whatever are the rigors of the Ind AS, I can't help in those matters. But we are trying one thing. Let me be very clear about it, and that's what we have told institute. मेरा term तो सितंबर में खत्म हो जाएगा unless NAFRA does not come into play. NAFRA आ जाएगी तो मेरा term वैसे ही खत्म हो जाएगा because NAFRA wants full-time chairman. मैं तो full time जाने को तैयार नहीं आज की डेट में, सच्ची बात है. full time का मतलब अपनी practice छोड़ के जाओ. They want to park somebody from some category. क्योंकि it is also parking lot ना कहीं parking lot चाहिए उनको भी सरकारों को. तो if NAFRA does not come into, probably then they may extend the period. But I have requested the institute कि जो existing standards हैं आप उनको upgrade करना शुरू करें. जैसे AS10 we have upgraded, if you really ask me. So similarly we will upgrade the other standards also, but with a much lower requirement for disclosures for the smaller sector. पर fair valuation आज नहीं आएगी, 5 साल बाद आ जाएगी, even to the smaller entities. I don't think we can live on two kind of systems, one system on the fair valuation and other on the historical cost concept. Unfortunately, what we wanted to avoid has been complicated by the CBDT, which you raised again. And I think even Deenal had raised the issue. When you talk of ICDS, ICDS is nothing but our standards picked up in one form or the other, if you ask me. Now they are saying that the accounting standard नहीं है, disclosure standards हैं. Actually वो कहना accounting standard चाहते थे, फिर हमने oppose किया कि how can someone else bring out the accounting standards? तो उन्होंने नाम change कर दिया. Unfortunately we were not on board. Maybe certain chartered accountants were on board in their individual capacity, but institute was not represented there. Let's be clear about it. But institute, some or the other, failed to even attack it. I can dare say that. Institute must have deposed it tooth and nail. On one side you are talking of Ind AS, on the other side you are talking of ICDS. ICDS is nothing but our existing standards. उसके ऊपर जो income बनती रहेगी. Why you are getting into that? हम double set of books को बचाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, double set तो आ ही जाएगा automatically. आप जो मर्जी कहते रहो, in the form of memoranda record आ जाएगा. अगर आपको computation के लिए बनाना पड़ेगा on cost basis, automatically memoranda record will have to be generated. But that's an unfortunate situation. You have to live with that situation. The other day CII's conference was there. I was there. Joint Secretary CBDT was there. I raised this particular issue. But there was no reply at all. Let me be very clear. And I told in her presence that probably this is the most undesirable step. You can't go ahead with that fashion. You must tell very clearly the people who are following Ind AS, whatever gains are on their notional basis, if you are going to tax it, you will allow the notional losses also, or both will not be, and neither it will be taxed nor it will be allowed. There is no harm in saying this. It is not as difficult as they are making out it to be. Unfortunately, I think the intention to provide a solution seems to be lesser. Last couple of minutes I will only say, training of the staff to professional firms and the industry, I think it's a big challenge. हमें तो अपने स्टाफ को पहले तैयार करना है, आर्टिकल्स को भी तैयार, आर्टिकल्स तो शायद तैयार हो भी जाएंगे, हम नहीं तैयार होंगे, क्योंकि आर्टिकल ने तो बेचारे ने पढ़ना है ना एग्जामिनेशन के लिए, वो तो तैयार हो जाएगा, हमें पढ़ने में टाइम लगेगा. बिकॉज एट दिस पर्टिकुलर एज व्हेन यू हैव गॉन बाल्ड, ऑफ कोर्स आजकल तो बाल्ड जो है बच्चा 20 साल में भी हो जाता, but having gone bald at the age of 60 or so, it is very difficult to read and then retain it. And that is where the role of the youngsters will come in. I can say with conviction, it is a great professional opportunity for all the youngsters. It is a great professional opportunity for all the firms, but for that matter, they must take the youngsters into their fold and try to exploit that particular advantage in those situations. That's the way I look at this particular opportunity. The challenge is from certain firms, and that we have to face together. There's no doubt about it. But I can tell you, work will be generated for every firm. Work is bound to be generated for every firm. The fee levels of the certain firms may not be afforded by some of the clients. So ultimately, these people will come to the medium-sized firms. And that is where the smaller people, the youngsters, will come into play. Please take advantage of this particular situation, because their IT skills are much better than ours, if you really ask me. हमारी IT skill तो अब सिर्फ Facebook और mail तक रह गई है, उनकी IT skills है. It is going to be cost intensive. That's one of the major challenges which the industry is talking of. Every bank is going to incur a substantial part of the expenditure on the ERP. Because principles are different. And one of the challenges is whether Reserve Bank of India will still have prudential norms or will give a goodbye to the prudential norms. I have been telling them very clearly, don't do away with the prudential norms. Have an overall principle within the principle of Ind AS 109, but within that have some rule-based. Otherwise, the banks will go the way it has gone in the other part of the world. I still remember in 1991, I had gone for an audit, and one particular account which we used to look at daily whenever we used to pass Connaught Place, और हमें लगता था बड़ा बढ़िया क्लाइंट है यार, बड़ा बढ़िया पार्टी है. जब उसका अकाउंट देखा तो 85% of the amount outstanding in the account was nothing but interest accrued but not paid by him. क्योंकि उस वक्त तक prudential norms नहीं थी, 92 में ही prudential norms. तो one way when you talked up to the banker said कि जी पूरा secured है, दिक्कत क्या है? Then I told them, you are not into the business of buying and selling the properties, यार. Your main principle is not being recovered and you keep on accruing interest there. Where is the justification at all? But it happened. But in 92 everything got rectified. We have come a long way since then. अगर ये आपको NPA नजर आ रहे हैं ना आज, it is only because of the prudential norms, नहीं तो नजर नहीं आते. कोई बैंकर, और पर्टिकुलरली जब बैंकर ने खुद अपॉइंट करना ऑडिटर को, वो NPA कर देगा? करेगा ही नहीं. क्योंकि if you leave it to the judgment of the management, कि management has to judge whether the recovery will come or will not come. Whatever principles you lay down, it will always be deferred. You can be sure about it. At least by 3-4 years, if not much. So my humble submission is to the RBI that even if you want to bring in, you need to follow Ind AS, there is no doubt. But Ind AS 109 के principles लेके उसमें थोड़ा सा रूल बेस जरूर कर दीजिए. यू एक्सटेंड द पीरियड, आप 180 दिन से 90 दिन से आप 360 दिन कर दीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, पर करिए जरूर. अगर आप नहीं करेंगे then probably you are going to be in problems. There are problems of foreign subsidiaries. जब आपने foreign subsidiaries which are on IFRS, because that was also one of your issues. Foreign subsidiaries which are already on IFRS, whether you will like it to be converted into India's, yes, 100%. If parent is Indian, the foreign subsidiaries will have to convert their accounts into India's, no doubt about it. अगर आपके इंडियास वाले बाहर जाएंगे तो वो भी ये कहेंगे ना कि हमारे IFRS पे कन्वर्ट करके लाओ, तो हमारा प्राइड इसमें है कि हमारे इंडियास पे आप कन्वर्ट करके लाइए, then we'll accept these accounts for that matter. I think to me the sense of pride being an Indian, the sense of pride in having an Indian standard outweighs any other consideration, friends, for that matter. I will only like to say at the end of it, every morning when you get up, you have two choices. Either to sleep with your dreams or to get up and chase your dreams. And I think our dream has been to chase Indias and see that these are notified and introduced in this particular country under those circumstances. Thank you very much, friends. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, sir. सर, आपके पहले इंट्रोडक्टरी सेशन के बाद हम लोग ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स को पढ़ने के लिए मोटिवेट हुए थे, बट सेकेंड सेशन के बाद हम वापस ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स भूल गए. Probably if we have to buy so many books on the accounting standards, we may not be left with any budget to buy the book on auditing standard. Probably जो आपका टॉपिक था, Ind AS transition, I think it could have been rephrased as Ind AS the inside story. And sir, I can tell you that you speak with so much depth, कि आज हमारे ओरिजिनल चीफ गेस्ट भी होते तो उनको भी कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाता. धन्यवाद सर. Let's give a big round of applause to Amaljeet ji again. I'll now request Aniket and Sanjay Tisha and Rinkesh ji to please escort Amal ji. Yeah, and before I'll request CA Rinkesh, please be seated for a second. Before that, I'll request CA Rinkesh now to propose a vote of thanks.
It is very difficult to give vote of thanks to this kind of learned faculty. Sir, thanks a lot for showing us the difficulties which you faced in the implementation stage in the history as well as in the current scenario. I also would like to point out one thing, sir mentioned in the inauguration session about section 143, absolutely unawareness about the auditing standard. There is also one section called section 147, which is saying about non-compliance, penalties for the non-compliance of section 143. So, thanks a lot, sir, for your giving precious time to the Ahmedabad fraternity. Thanks a lot for giving your speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinkesh. Friends, our next session is on charitable institutions, recent amendments in taxation, FCRA, which will be taken up by CA Rajesh Kadakia, who is with us now. So without wasting much time, we shall be taking up the next technical session.